lines of Genesis? Mark Twain did, and he published his thoughts as to what might have happened in The Diaries of Adam and Eve.
As Eve ponders the deep psychological meanings behind love,
Adam ponders the more important, age-old question of, what is that thing?
Let's join them as they find the answers to these questions in The Diaries of Adam and Eve,
written by Mark Twain,
and adapted for stage by David Burney.
She fell in the pond yesterday. She nearly strangled and said it was most uncomfortable. This made her feel sorry for the creatures that live in the pond, which she calls fish. So she got a lot of them out and put them in my bed to keep warm. But I've noticed the fish now and then all day, and I don't see that they are any happier there. Only quieter.
After the fall, when I look back, the garden is a dream to me. But now it is lost, and I shall see it no more.
She accuses me of being the cause of our disaster. She says, with apparent truth and sincerity, that the serpent assured her the forbidden fruit was not apples, it was chestnuts. The serpent also informed her that chestnut was a figurative term for an aged or moldy joke. Alas, I am indeed to blame. I was obliged to admit I had made a chestnut just at the time of our catastrophe. If only I weren't so witty.
3 months later, the garden is lost. But I have found him, and I am content. If I ask myself why I love him, I find that I do not know. I love certain birds because of their song, but I do not love Adam on account of his singing. No, I can't stand it. I'm sure I can learn that his singing sours the milk. Oh. But it doesn't matter. I can get used to that kind of milk.
We've named it Cain. She caught it in the timber, a couple miles from our dugout. It resembles us in some ways and may be a relation. That is what she thinks, but this is an error. The difference in size warrants the conclusion that Cain is a different and new kind of animal. A fish, perhaps, though when I put him in the water, he sank, and Eve plunged in and snatched him out before there was opportunity for the experiment to determine the matter. I still think it's a fish, but she is indifferent about what it is. Her mind is disordered.
It is not on account of his brightness for which I love him. No, it is not that. He is not to blame, for he did not make himself. He is as God made him, and that is sufficient. In time it will develop. And besides, there's no hurry. He's well enough just as he is.
She likes to have the fish wallow all over her, and she makes fool noises to amuse it and pretends to chew its paws. I've never seen her do this with any other fish before. It troubles me greatly.
It is not on account of his gracious and considerate ways and his delicacy that I love him. No, he lacks in these regards. But he is improving.
Cain isn't a fish. I can't make out what he is. It's not one of us, for it doesn't walk. It's not a bird, for it doesn't fly. I feel certain he's not a fish, but I can't get the opportunity to find out if he can swim or not. I said I believed he was an enigma, but she only admired the word without understanding it. In my judgment, he's either an enigma or some kind of a kangaroo. I've offered to get her a kangaroo if she would let this one go, but it did no good. She was not like this before she lost her mind.
It is not on account of his education for which I love him. Education? No, he is self-educated and really does know a multitude of things, most of which are not true.
He's not a kangaroo, no, for he supports himself now, 5 months later, by holding onto her finger, and thus goes a couple steps on its hind legs, and then falls down. He's probably some kind of bear, yet he has no tail. I've never had a thing perplex me so.
Why is it that I love him? Merely because he is masculine, I think.
I've been off hunting and fishing for a month. Meanwhile, the bear has learned to say papa and mama. This resemblance to words could be purely accidental, of course, but this is something no other bear can do. This imitation of speech, taken together with the general absence of fur and entire absence of a tail, sufficiently indicates that Cain is a new kind of bear.
It is not on account of his chivalry through which I love him. No. At the bottom he is good, and I love him for that, but I think I would love him without it. I know. It's a matter of gender, I think. He's strong and handsome, and I admire him and I admire him. But I think I could live him without those qualities.
It has been a weary hunt, yet I have had no success. Yet while I was gone, without stirring from the estate, she managed to catch another one. Never saw such luck. She calls it Abel. I've been comparing the new one with the old one, and it is perfectly plain that they are of the same breed. The new one is as ugly now as the old one was at first.
Yes, I think I love him merely because he is mine. And is masculine. There is no other reason, I suppose. And so, it is as I first said, this love is not a matter of reasonings or statistics. It just comes and cannot explain itself and does not need to.
10 years later, their boys, we found it out a long time ago. It was their coming in that small, immature shape that puzzled us. Abel's a good boy, but if Cain had stayed a bear, it would have improved him.
He has come to love the children fondly. We have 9 now, half girls and half boys.
After all these years, I see I was mistaken about Eve in the beginning. It's better to be outside the garden with her than inside without her. For wheresoever she was, there was Eden. Blessed be the chestnut that brought us